So, what if I told you that the real secret to making money in the markets is to be bored? I know, it sounds completely backward, but today we're going to break down why the most successful traders have incredibly uneventful, almost boring trading days. Let's dive in.
This one sentence right here, it gets to the absolute heart of it. We're all conditioned to think that winning has to involve this rush of adrenaline, right? Fast action, big hero moments. But the pros, they know that real profitability comes from a solid process, a ton of discipline, and actively avoiding the drama, not chasing it.
Okay, so why do we fall for it? Why do we crave that excitement? Well, honestly, it's a mix of some really clever marketing and just our own brain chemistry. The markets are sold to us as this high-stakes, action-packed game, and our brains are literally wired to love the thrill of the chase. It's a really dangerous combination that, let's be honest, almost always leads to disaster.
And that gets us right into our first section, the excitement trap. See, that desire for action makes us trade when we absolutely shouldn't. It makes us take risks we can't afford, and ultimately, it makes us make emotional decisions. The way out isn't some new secret strategy or a better indicator. It's a completely different way of thinking.
And this right here, this is the trap. We're made to believe that being busy, more trades, more charts, more everything, equals more profit. But the reality is the dead opposite. Chasing every little wiggle in the market is just a surefire way to get stuck in a nasty cycle of tiny wins and soul-crushing losses.
So how do we get out of this trap? That brings us to Section 2, your trading constitution. Now, this isn't just a trading plan. Think of it more like a personal set of laws, non-negotiable laws that you write to protect your money from your own worst impulses. Let's be really clear about what this is. A personal trading constitution is a set of hard rules. These are not suggestions, they're not guidelines. They are designed to be a firewall that steps in and overrides that feeling of FOMO or that desperate urge to make back a loss. When push comes to shove, the constitution is the boss, not your emotions, period.
And this is a total mind bender for most people. For the average person, the default setting is I need to find a trade. For a professional, the default setting is sitting on their hands, protecting their capital. A trade becomes the exception, you see, not the rule.
I love this idea. It's such a powerful reframe. You don't just get to place a trade. You have to earn the right to put your hard-earned money at risk. You're not just throwing money at the screen and hoping. You are waiting patiently for that perfect setup that gives you a real edge. Only then have you earned the right to act.
And this ties right into another huge idea, the power of patience. Look, waiting isn't passive. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a professional's greatest strength. When the market is choppy and makes no sense, the smartest and most profitable move you can make is to do absolutely nothing. It is the only guaranteed way to protect your capital.
Which, is the perfect lead-in to our next section, the power of no. Because the main job of your constitution isn't even to find you winning trades. Nope. Its most important job is to protect your capital by forcing you, again and again, to say no to all those mediocre or downright dangerous setups.
And here's the proof, plain and simple. Winning isn't about catching every single move. It's about knowing which fights to avoid. It's about sidestepping those landmine days that can wipe out weeks of careful work. Saying no, selectively, is actually a performance-enhancing tool.
Think of this as a non-negotiable kill switch. There's no debate, there are no what-ifs. If just one of your hard no conditions is met, the decision is already made for you. It's automatic. No trade. This completely removes that emotional bargaining from the entire equation. All right, here's a real-world example. This is a survival checklist for options expiry days, which can get super volatile. So, is the VIX, the fear gauge, spiking late in the day? That means uncertainty is skyrocketing. The answer is no. Is the market ripping in one direction? That could reverse on a dime and wipe you out. Answer is no. And that last one, feeling that urgency, that itch to trade? That's your emotions trying to hijack your account. That's a definite no.
This just lays it all out, doesn't it? The true risk equation? That feeling of regret from missing a winner? It's temporary. It fades. But the damage from one single, impulsive, rule-breaking trade, that can be absolutely devastating, not just to your account, but to your confidence. The choice is pretty clear when you see it like this. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds good, but does it apply to my style of trading? The answer is yes, absolutely.
In Section 4, we're going to look at 2 completely different blueprints for discipline, just to show you how this framework applies to any approach.
Okay, one of the most critical rules you can have in your constitution is this: the hard separation rule. A long-term swing trade is a totally different mental game than a short-term options trade. It's like trying to use football rules in a baseball game. Trying to recover a loss from one strategy by using the other is a cardinal sin. It is how trading accounts slowly bleed to death.
So, have a look at the philosophy behind swing trading here. See the theme? It's all built on patience and being super selective. It forces you to check the big picture first, to demand a high potential reward for your risk, and to get out based on cold, hard logic, not fear or greed.
And now look at the option selling side. It's the exact same DNA, just in a different package. The #1 goal is survival, not just making income. It's about analyzing what's happening right now, not predicting the future. And it has ruthless, non-negotiable rules for when to stay out and avoid those stupid hero trades.
Okay, let's bring this all home. In our final section, we're going to talk about the uncomfortable truth. This is where we hit on the big misconceptions that keep so many traders spinning their wheels and never finding real lasting success.
This slide just nails the difference between the amateur and the pro. The amateur is always searching for more indicators, more complex strategies, more action. The professional knows the real edge is found in less. Fewer decisions, slower, more deliberate entries, and a level of brutal self-honesty that most people aren't comfortable with.
So what's the big takeaway here? Let's let these principles sink in for a second. First, truly accepting that no trade is a valid and often very profitable decision. Second, and this is huge, never trade to recover a loss. Third, focus on executing your process perfectly every single time and stop obsessing over the outcome of any single trade. And finally, remember that controlling your capital is always, always more important than what your P&L says today.
And this might be the most profound shift in thinking of all. If you make capital preservation and disciplined execution your main objectives, profits will naturally show up as a byproduct. But if you make profits the objective, you'll break all your rules and end up losing your capital. It's a paradox, but it's true. I want to leave you with one last thing, a final practical tool to build right into your trading constitution. Before you even think about clicking that buy or sell button, you have to stop and ask yourself this one simple question. If the answer is anything other than a calm, confident yes, then the trade is either way too big or you shouldn't be taking it at all. This simple question is your final firewall. It protects not just your money, but your psychological capital, your peace of mind, which at the end of the day is the real key to surviving and thriving in this game.